So, this is Grandpa and Aspen. I just wanted to show you what I'm going to do here. I just happened to come outside, and over here we have this pile of oak leaves, and then these are the pollen sacs when the oak gives everybody allergies, but these are the sacs that the oak tree has that carries the pollen. So in there we have a lot of tannin and who knows what else in terms of that material. And then over here, when I was stripping some of these boards to see the grain there, we have this lovely pile. See, when I water blast this 2x2 here to take the paint off, it makes this material. This has also got some leaves in it, but you can see the cedar fibers and some of the paint. Right? So that's a very interesting building material. And then if we take it and add, we got a pile of dirt over there. This is just regular topsoil. So it's got some clays in it and quite a bit of silt, but some clay, but not much sand. So I thought we'd just mix this up and let it cook a little and see how well it sticks together. But we also could put some maybe we want to put some petite sandy clay loam. So this is the red, and there are the critter holes. So, look, as I was saying, look at this lovely petite sandy clay loam. I'm saying sandy clay loam. Yeah. It probably has got a critter in there. Yeah, right down that. So let's see if we can not disturb you, whoever it is. Yeah, that should add some color to it. So looks to me like this is going to take or need a lot more dirt. All right, so let's have a look at this. So what we got here is a sandy clay loam. You can see, so it's got sand, and then the silt is the red from the Petite Texas strawberry soil. And then it'll have little nuggets of caliche, looks like. So we've got this much without disturbing whoever's in that critter hole. It's a pretty big hole. It should be a family. So we'll put in we'll just add this what we got out there. See, this is like crushed limestone. It has interesting properties. It gets wet, it gets a little pasty, and then it's got, in terms of aggregate, it's got some small chunks of limestone, plus then the dust. But because it's crushed and because it's limestone. Oh, there's a frog. Hey, Mr. Frog, sorry to disturb you. You're gonna have to find your lunch somewhere else. Temporarily. So just to review, the ingredients. We have these lovely pollen sacs, oak tree pollen sacs and leaves. So it should have some tannin color in it. And we have a lovely mixture of leaves and shredded cedar chunks with paint on from pressure washing wood. And you have your basic adobe soil. It's really just topsoil, but you can see it's got some clay here, these white streaks here, and then silt, but not much sand, so it makes, in terms of a dirt clod, makes great dirt clods. See, like that one with a little moisture in it, just busts right up. So that's like an exploding grenade when you're in dirt clod wars. But then when it's dried out, it gets real hard. So you don't want to be throwing dry dirt clods. But here, then, this is your crushed limestone. There's no clay in it whatsoever, but it still makes, when wet, a little pasty because of the dust. And then you got poteet sandy clay loam. Its dirt clods are even a little softer because this has got lots of sand in it. You can see kind of the sparkles there. And so the idea is we're going to mix this all up, and then we're going to let it soak. Now when you're mixing a pile, sort of a ancient ritual. But you want to turn it over and if you can, it's always easier to mix it dry. But most times it's not. So we got a fairly good pile here, so we can just kind of circle it up a little. And put a hole in the middle.
sometimes you gotta have it on full. And kind of shape what you're doing. You don't want the water to run out over the top. You want to soak in and start seeing it coming out the bottom, or wait a little. Escape right here. So we want to let all those juices and everything talk to the fibers. Let's see what we have in suspension here. Some clay still breaking up. A lot more leaves than what I originally diagnosed. Let's see. Well, it'll be interesting. They need more dirt. Let's let it soak and see. So we'll let this soak a bit.
So, let's see. Right now it looks like a mud cake. But what we want to have is a mud pie. Let's just see what it looks like. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Isn't that nice and juicy? You want some mud pies? I think it'd be pretty tasty. It's got plenty of fiber. So, yeah. Turn it over a couple of times. So, maybe a little more water. Yes. Magic juice here to get away. Now look, the mud doggers will love this.
This could be a mud dauber. Yeah, this is good stuff. Mud daubers are our friends, and they like this kind of brew, although that may be a hornet. He looks pretty orange to be a mud dauber. That's just a hornet. And his sting is no good. Mud daubers don't sting. They just want the mud. Well, he's after the mud, but he looks awful orange to be a mud dauber. Still some unstirred stuff here. Let's see what we got here. So, what do we got? It's pretty sticky. Got stickiness developing. Now it needs to cook. So let's see. Right now it's like a mud cake. But what we want to have is a mud pie. Let's just see what it looks like. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Isn't that nice and juicy? You want some mud pies? I think it'd be pretty tasty. It's got plenty of fiber.
magic juice here to get away. Now look, the mud daubers will love this. This could be a mud dauber. Yeah, this is good stuff. Mud daubers are our friends, and they like this kind of brew, although that may be a hornet. He looks pretty orange to be a mud dauber. That's just a hornet. And his sting is no good. Mud daubers don't sting. They just want the mud. Well, he's after the mud, but he looks awful orange to be a mud dauber. There's still some unstirred stuff here.
see what we got here. So, what do we got? It's pretty sticky. Got stickiness developing. Now it needs to cook. So, I guess this is Grandpa Cam episode 2. This was 1 yesterday. As you may recall, we found some lovely material here, which is oak tree pollen sacs. And when they do the pollen thing for hay fever with a bunch of live oak tree leaves. And so then what we also had was some wood chips made when we pressure washed the paint off of these pieces of wood. So it makes a nice pile of long wood particles, and a bunch of paint is in there. So then we said, well, we ought to have something to make it stick together. So we took some basic adobe soil. This is clay and silt, a lot of silt. Some clay, it's got some nice hard snap to it. So it's got good clay. It might be a little shy on sand in terms of a sandy clay loam. But then this is a sandy clay loam supposedly, but it's a little shy on the clay part. But this is from Poteet, Texas. They use it for ball diamonds and stuff. And it is called a sandy clay loam, but it's a little short on clay, but a nice red silt. And then we have over here, this is limestone dust. So made from when they crush limestone. A lot of sharp lenses in it. And so then this is our cake. Our pile of mixture.
clays in there. Got some real stickiness. Look at that. Now that's what you want. Nice stickiness. Need it mixed up enough. Look at that. So it's got those nice tannins in there. And then the clay and the adobe. And some organic material from the leaves and pollen sacs. Oh yeah, look at that. That's the real thing there. There's still some stuff that's not mixed in there. But over here, oh, look at this. What we have here is some that dried out yesterday. Let's just see how it snaps. Boy, it sticks to the concrete pretty good. Oh yeah. Can you hear that snap? This is what you're after. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a crumple. Well, when it's thoroughly dry, probably has pretty good snap. Let's see if we can get one of these chip chips here. Yeah. Look at that. So it's got some, let's see what kind of snap it's got. Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Look at that snap. See, you can see the fibers, some of the aggregate there, limestone. Alrighty. Finish mixing this up. Yeah, it's got a nice slump to it. Let's see how it forms up. We have to have
goes over here. Let's see. See if he'll slip. Over here. So, let's see what the trowel says here. See how this will stack up here. So, you know, make sure it's sort of homogeneous and comes to the end of the. You might want to add some more water so that this part is not so much work. That's, if you do it dry, that would be the ticket. So it's always nice to have a little sample to break. Only needs a little more mixing here. And then if you don't want it to cling to the side, you can tap it a little bit. So, where were we? I think we were going to mix some of this up a little more. Well, there's a good sized double here. Boy, it's got some nice stick to it. There's that other trowel. I think we can make this a little more juicy. A little more juicy, it'll go into forms better. Easier. Let's see. That won't be a little more. So anyway, I was just thinking, God was pretty smart, And most people would agree. It's a story that God took a lump of clay and with his breath breathed life. So, he started with a pretty good basic building material. Clay. But I wonder if it was pure clay or, did it have maybe some silt in it? Or maybe there was some other things hanging around. Maybe there was some more, some oak leaves. And other miscellaneous fibers hanging around. So, so far we're just, Adobe breathes. Adobe's all about mass. And what it does is it absorbs heat or cool, but you think of it in terms of heat. It's stored that heat, but when it gets cooler outside, you'll breathe as the heat moves through the mass. So, you got lots of mass, but we've been adding fibers to make it a little more lightweight and
stickiness has its merits. Look at that. Wow. This is really some good stuff. Now this one's a little wetter, so it might be a little easier to get in there. So what we have here is an opportunity to make a patty, a sample patty. You can snap later once it dries out to see how hard it's getting. Or if you want to add color or something, you can have samples for that. You know, I mean, you can see why God would use clay, you know. I mean, it's just so much fun to play with, you know, mud pies and every single lump of clay is a little different. And it's got, you know, the mud daubers love you for it as they come and get their stuff. And if you, the idea here is to make a living. And you're making a sponge that breathes in carbon dioxide, just like burying it in the ground. So yeah, I mean, we're not pretending to be God, but we did breathe some life into some adobes. So look at this, we got, I wonder what we could do with the rest of this. I could wait and see if we could slip the adobes. Grabbing onto the side of the box. And we just wanted to see what would happen if we tried to slip it. Look at that. That's great stuff. Now we're gonna leave it. It's too sticky. Too sticky to slip. Should be a song by that name. So let's see what we got here. We made some adobes, and it's rained a bit, so it's got a little texture on top. And you can see here that the shrinkage of the material So the clay in adobe has what they call a plasticity index, which is the relative expansion and contraction or shrinkage. So in this case we have an 8-inch wide to start with, and it looks like the adobe shrank to 7.5, so we had a 1/2 inch shrink, which is pretty substantial. So let's see how these stand up. Look at this. Yeah, very interesting character to our mixture. Look at that. It's got some nice little paint chips in it, some leaves. Let's see how stiff it might be. So here's our snap test samples. Let's see if it has any snap. Oh yeah, it's got some serious snap. And then in terms of its crushability, it's, when it's dry, it's hard to crush. So clay has done its job. It's made a it has bound materials together. Let's see how we stand these up on edge. Now you can see their bottom half is yet to cure. So what we accomplished here was we had just a little set of our mixture, but now it needs to cure because it won't get its full integrity until it's thoroughly cured or dried. So there you have it. Adobe's